Hey, what's up guys? John here. On this channel I talk about personal finance, real estate, business, and of course money. And when we're looking at what's happening in the stock market, crypto, real estate, mortgage, rates, everything is all over the place. People are very concerned. They think that maybe we're going to be stepping into a recession. But I have a completely different take on this. I think it's not really going to be a recession. I think it's probably going to be much worse because if we look at what happened in 2020 in March, the markets dived. They took a dive, but ultimately they recovered because of all of the money printing, all of the stimulus, all of the provisions that came in to save the economy, and people thought that this is only going to be temporary and we're going to get out of this. So stock market started climbing and everyone started being very optimistic. Everyone thought, hey, this is the end of it. This is now going to be a place where I'm going to be able to yield insane returns. I'm going to be able to pull 15, 20% a month. People are making so much money, they just thought that this was normal. But what's happening now is something we all need to pay attention to because markets are falling. They're falling in a pretty big way, some would say. I wouldn't be one of those people. I think that it's slightly falling. But what we are actually going to see, I think, is going to be real fear. And it's not traditional fear, which is, what we're seeing now. It's going to be fear based on what's happening overseas in China and what's going to be coming here, which I think is inevitable. When people get wind of this and they understand where things are actually going to go, people are going to freak out. People are going to freak out and panic sell, I think, in mass scale. Now, I'm going to walk you through exactly what's going on. Please hit that like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share this content to educate more people and also share this with everybody. If you have any friends that are, investing right now that maybe have different views, share it with them. And if they have any if they have any other responses on this, they could drop below. We could talk about it. And if they're right, I'd love to delete this video. But that's how I am. If you can prove me wrong in anything that I'm saying, I'll always delete the video. And I've yet so far to have done that because no one's proved me wrong yet. But Shanghai retightens on these restrictions, right? Trapping residents. Beijing, the city of Shanghai, is doubling down on pandemic restrictions after a brief period of loosening up, frustrating residents who were hoping a more than month-long lockdown was finally easing as the number of new cases falls in China's financial center. On Tuesday, and this is The Hill magazine, on Tuesday, service was suspended on the last two subway lines that were still operating, marking the first time the city's entire system has been shut down, according to the paper. Teams in white protective suits have begun entering the homes of infected people to spray disinfectant, prompting worries among some about damaging the clothing and valuables, and about leaving their keys with a community volunteer when they were taken to quarantine, a new requirement. You think about what they're actually saying there. So they would come in, they would leave, they'd spray the place down, and they have to give their keys away. This is happening. People would say, okay, well that's not in America. Well, just wait a minute, because I think you're going to change your mind on that. In some areas, people have been ordered to stay in their homes again for a quiet period after being let out for limited shopping in recent weeks. China's adherence to zero strategy, as many other countries loosen restrictions and try to live with this, is exacting a growing economic and human cost. Ever more extreme measures have been required to bring outbreaks under control because this variant spread so easily. China's ruling party, Communist Party, with an eye on major party Congress this fall, is showing no signs of backing up anytime soon. And then this district, a suburban area in southern Shanghai, entered a quiet period on Monday with permits residents to leave their compounds suspend and shops and supermarkets closed except for delivery, the Shanghai Media Group reported. Workers at one supermarket filled bags of celery, cooking oil, and other groceries in a designated area where delivery persons picked them up. Jing Yu, the manager, said the store is also trying to restock goods in high demand. While offline sales are resumed, customers will be able to buy what they need immediately, he said. Escape from Shanghai is all about impossible, but that didn't stop an unofficial how-to guide detailing how to navigate lockdown controls and nab a seat on the few trains and planes leaving the city from circulating widely on social media. Many of the city's 25 million shared their frustrations over the renewed restrictions in the chat group. The daily number of new cases in Shanghai has fallen from 3,000 by Monday, down from a peak of 26,000 in mid-April, 6 more. So you can see where this is going. It's going like this back and forth situation in China. Well, now what's happening is we look at what they are now looking for, which is $10 billion more in funding here. And this just came out yesterday. So Biden's looking for $10 billion more in funding, right? So $10 billion. And then we look at what this, everyone knows who this gentleman is. We look at what he's saying here. At the beginning of the movie Outbreak, there's a scene where 3 government virologists arrived by helicopter at a remote village. Most of the village has recently died from Ebola-like symptoms. Wearing protective moon suits while triumphant music plays in the background, our heroes immediately get to work trying to contain the threat before it hurts anyone else. It's an inspiring scene. This is on gatesnotes.com. Unfortunately, it's pure Hollywood fiction. A full-time team like this doesn't exist in real life yet. I'm hoping this changes soon because it is one of the most important things we can do to prevent the next pandemic. So they're looking for this full-time team, and they're really moving in this direction. So today, there are many organizations that work hard to respond to a major epidemic, but their efforts are largely dependent on volunteers. The best-known Global Outbreak Alert and Response Network, or GORN, which does heroic work but doesn't have the staffing, funding, or global mandate to tackle every threat. So if you guys can see what's happening, when the overall economy gets word of what's going to be spinning through here, then I think people are not going to be as optimistic. I don't think people are going to be betting on meme stocks. I don't think people are going to be betting on NFTs simply just because they are cool looking and artistic. People are going to be betting in things that are true value, real value investing. People are going to be really getting defensive and pulling back on spending when people realize that, hey, this isn't going to be ending anytime soon, and we're stepping into, I think, a world of problems. That's what I think. At least that's what they are saying. This isn't, I didn't pull this opinion from thin air. I'm just reading what they're saying. This is what they're saying. This is what they say is likely coming and what they're pushing for right now. So as this does come, do you think that we're going to see a group of people that are optimistic and betting everything on AMC? I don't think so. I think we're going to get people that are going to really pull back. I think people are going to start doing home gardens more. I think people are going to get more defensive, and people are going to be looking for ways in which they can make more money from home and looking for ways they can take risk off the table as much as possible. I think we're also going to see a lot of retirees and people that are on fixed incomes looking at options of how they can cut back on expenses, because we're going to see more and more of this inflation. And as this happens, it chips away at their spending power on Social Security and on their monthly dividends that they've received, maybe from their 401ks or whatever it may be. This is going to be the future problem. At least this is what it seems is going to be the future problem over the next, I would guess, 6 months. We're going to start to move in this direction. It would not surprise me if by fall we are in a world of problems here in this country. But I'm very curious as to what you think. I love talking about real estate and investing, but I'm realistic in terms of I'm not going to only just want to see the best. I want to see the truth. So whatever the truth is, I take that information and then I make decisions based on that truth. I don't want to just dismiss everything that's real and then just, be optimistic and just lose money and have you guys lose money because you guys are listening and taking advice. This is what's happening. So we have to make smart investments going forward. What do you think about all this? Drop your comments below, hit the like button, subscribe here, and also watch this video. I'm gonna cover this right here over my face so you guys can watch this. Go to this YouTube channel, watch the full video, and I think you're gonna get a better context of where I'm coming from. And subscribe here and on my second YouTube channel. I'll catch you guys later.